Howdy folks, welcome to Rampage Reviews Raw for September 19th, 2016. So we start off the night with Reigns coming down in the ring, being interrupted by Seth, being interrupted by Foley, and it sets up Rusev versus Reigns for the US title at Classic Champions, and tonight Reigns will fight Kevin Owens in a steel cage. Our first match is Seth Rollins taking on Rusev. Back and forth match, they brawl up the entrance ramp, they both get counted out. In the end, Seth Rollins knocks Rusev off the stage and hits a diving crossbody off of the announce table. Backstage promo with Foley, Charlotte, and Dana Brooke, in which they point out that both Bayley and Sasha Banks' shoulders were down to the mat, so Foley decides to grab a triple threat match at Classic Champions, being Sasha Banks versus Bayley versus Charlotte. Followed by Braun Strowman taking on Cara, another squash match in which Braun Strowman catches Cara out of the moonsault and hits a power slam for the win. Then we have Charlotte and Dana Brooke taking on Sasha Banks and Bayley. In the end, Bayley goes for the Bayley to belly, Dana Brooke grabs her foot so she can't hit the move, at which point she gets distracted, and Charlotte hits the big boot and gets the pinfall for the 1-2-3. Then we have a promo backstage with Seth Rollins confronting Stephanie about what's going on with Kevin Owens, and she turns around and endorses him as champ, but says she has no idea what Triple H was doing. At that point, we have Bo Dallas taking on Grahm, some sort of local talent, and Bo does get the easy win with the roll of the dice. Match 6 of the Best of 7 series with Cesaro and Sheamus ends with Cesaro tying the series 3-3 with a neutralizer. At that point, we have Jericho confronting Foley backstage with his list of grievances, his list of Jericho, but all his problems with Foley, and Foley basically turns him down and says he doesn't have time for this. At that point, Jericho goes out to the ring, starts airing his list of grievances, gets interrupted by Enzo and Cass, the Shining Stars, the Club, as well as Sami Zayn, which turns into a big 10-person match, and in the end, the good guys, Enzo, Cass, Zayn, New Day, all win with the bada boom shakalaka. After that, Mick Foley brings out 4 members of the Cruiserweight division, being Gran Metalik, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, and Brian Kendrick, and they have a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for TJ Perkins' Cruiserweight Championship at Classic Champions, and Brian Kendrick takes the win with the Captain's Hook. Then we get a recap of last week when Nia Jax utterly destroyed Alicia Fox, slamming her repeatedly into the barricade by her hair, and then spearing her through the ringside area, setting up a rematch for Sunday on the Classic Champions pregame show. Then we have our main event of Roman Reigns taking on Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. In the end, they both go to escape the cage, Kevin Owens to the door, Roman Reigns to the top, and Roman Reigns does get his feet on the ground first, getting him the win. Post-match, Rusev shows up, attacks, the two of them double team Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring. They actually lock the door shut, at which point Seth Rollins comes down for the save and actually scales the cage and dives off the top to try to make the save. So that's this week's show. It was fun. I give it a grade of a B. So I really enjoyed the Rollins versus Rusev match before it went to a DQ. The Charlotte and Dana Brooke versus Bayley and Sasha Banks was a fun match. Brian Kendrick versus Cedric Alexander versus Rich Swann versus Grahm Metalik. Awesome Cruiserweight match. It's a great precedent for the rest of the division. And the Jericho promo was top-notch. Things I didn't like so much. No Cruiserweights to open the show. We're all hoping for an ode to WCW, with that being the first hour. TJ Perkins does not make his Raw debut after winning the Cruiserweight Classic and being your Cruiserweight champion. The 10-person match felt forced on the card. It has been awkward where it was placed and the whole setup for it. And I really don't like Kevin Owens losing the match right before Clash of Champions. This week, my MVP goes to Chris Jericho for his WCW reminiscent promo with his list of Jericho. So that's it for this week. Any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. Please like, please subscribe, please share, use the hashtag is right there, Rampage Reviews, and we'll see you next time.